If you use Instagram, you might have seen these small ratio reels that have been trending quite a lot lately. And today we are going to learn how to create them completely free inside DaVinci Resolve. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. Alright, so here I am on the edit page of DaVinci Resolve, and as you can see, I have already marked the bits and added some solid colors for the background. You can get them from this effects tab under the generators, and the color codes I am using are on the screen, so if you want you can copy them. Now let me show you the project settings. So I am using 1920 by 600 resolution at 30 frames per second. Okay, now let's focus on the main animation. So the first thing we are going to do is create the lyrics animation, but if you want you can skip this part because I am going to give you the project files of this lyrics animation completely free. Okay, now let me select this music and press backspace to delete it because I do not copyright in my videos, of course. Now just go to this effects section and you will see this titles tab. Click on it, and here we are going to use the text brush node. So click and drag it to the timeline and place it in the beginning of our composition. Now just select these steps, then go to the inspector. Now select this custom title and you just have to replace it with your lyrics. So I'm going to type anything. Okay, now scroll down, then go to this font section, simply click here and scroll down to choose your desired font. So I'm going to use this font called Optisphere. Now don't worry, I'm going to give you all the fonts that I'm using in the project file so you can download and install it. Now let's change the color. So click on this color section and you can use the slider to change the color. What you can do is simply double click on this HTML section, then type the color code 4747 and 47. Now simply click on OK to save it. Alright, now let's change the size of our text. So go to the inspector, then double click on this size box and change the value to 0.47. Let me click here once to apply the changes and we'll have something like this. Now what we're going to do is adjust the position of our text and also decrease the opacity a little bit. So let's switch to the settings tab and let me scroll up. Here you will see this Y offset. So double click here and change the value to -24. Click here to apply these changes and we'll have something like this. Now scroll down a little bit more and here you will see the opacity. So double click on this opacity box and change the value to 50. Let's click here once to apply the changes and we have something like this. Okay. Now what we're going to do is move to this first marker and at this point simply select this text, then press Ctrl+B to make a cut. And now let's animate it. So place the playback head on top of this first text, then open it in the Fusion page. Okay, so once you are in Fusion, you will have something like this. Now let's animate it. So simply go to frame 0 and at this point, go to the inspector and right click on this text area. Here you will see this follower section. Click on it and it will enable the modifiers. Simply click on it to switch to this tab and now switch to this settings tab. We are going to animate the opacity, so add a keyframe for it, then decrease the opacity to 0. Now go to the end of our composition and at this point increase the opacity to all the way up. Now scroll down to the bottom and here you will see this size section. Click on this mini arrow to enable it. Now scroll down a little bit more and add a keyframe for the X and also for the Y. Then go to the beginning of our composition and at this point simply decrease the X value to 0 and Y value to 0 as well. Now what we're going to do is enable this spline cap. Then select this template, click on this zoom to fit icon, select the keyframes, then right click here, go to this edge section and we're going to use this out cube icon. So click on it and we'll have something like this. Now just go to the instructor once again and scroll up, then go to this timing tab. Here you will see this delay. Double click on this delay box and change the value to 1. You can also click on this order section and choose this left to right option. So click on it and now if I go to frame 0, double click here and play it, you will see you'll have something like this. Okay, now let's go to the edit page. Alright, now we're going to create this small text. So for that, simply click on this text plus layer, then press Alt and move it upwards to make a copy. With this text plus layer selected, simply go to the inspector and increase the opacity to all the way up. Now we're going to change the font and size as well. So let's switch to this title section and go to this font section and let me scroll up a little bit. So the font I'm going to use is this one. It's called Constantia. So let me select it and also I'm going to change its appearance. So let me click on this regular section and change it to bold. Now let's change the size. So double click on the size box and change the size to something like 0.05. Let's click here once to apply the changes and we'll have something like this. Now let's also change the color. So click here and change the color to black. Now we need to create the same text on this section as well. So press Alt, then press left click and drag it upwards to make a copy. Now I will simply click here and move it around there, move it downwards and place it somewhere around here. Okay, now let me place the playback head on top of it and the first thing we're going to disable is the animation. So let's go to the inspector, scroll up and click on this keyframe icon to disable the animation. Now click on this text box and we need to add another word here. So I will type ELSELS. Okay. Now let's scroll down and click on this color section and change the color to white. Let's click on this OK button to save it. And now if I go to frame 0, double click here and play it, you will see it'll have something like this. Okay, now I want to add a little bit of zoom in animation on this white text. So for that, we're going to use the dynamic zoom. So let's switch to the settings tab once again. And here you will see the dynamic zoom. Click to enable it. Now click on the dynamic zoom text to enable the options. And here you will see this swipe button. Click on it. And now if I go to frame 0, double click here and play it, you will see we'll have something like this. Now it's actually a little bit fast, so what I'm going to do is simply go to this section and here you will see this mini arrow. Click here and switch to this dynamic zoom option. And now you will see this red box. I will simply click on this white point and drag it somewhere around here. Simply click on this mini arrow once again and switch to this transform tab and disable this. And now if I go to frame 0, double click here and play it, you will see we'll have something like this, and we have this little bit of zoom in animation. Okay, so now what we're going to do is delete the extra part of our text. So for that, go to this marker, and at this point simply select this text, then press Ctrl plus B to make a cut. Now select the right side of them and press backspace to delete them. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is animate this solid color. But before that, I'm going to change its color to yellow. So what I'm going to do is simply click here and delete it. Then I will simply click on this solid color, and just like that, I'm going to copy it. Then let me simply click here and place it somewhere around here and trim it down slightly until it fits. In order to animate it, we need to convert it into compound clip. So simply right click here and change it to new compound clip. Let me call it on, press the enter button, save it. Okay, now let's animate it. So place the playback head on top of it and open it in the Fusion page. Okay, so we're going to create the slide animation for this. So go to frame 0 and add a transform node. Now just go to the inspector and add a keyframe for the center XY. And now what we're going to do is move our playback head to this second marker. It's on frame 6, and at this point add another keyframe for the center XY. Then click on this mini arrow to go to this first keyframe. Now what we're going to do is click on this Y offset box and drag it like this. So let's take them around here. Let me go to the viewer and zoom up a little bit. Okay, so I guess it's on perfect position. So now what we're going to do is click on the zoom to fit icon, select the keyframes, right click here, go to this edge section and choose the out cubic. And for this one, we're going to enable the motion blur. So switch to the settings tab and enable the motion blur. Double click on this quality box and change the quality to something like 30, and also click on this shutter angle slider and drag it all the way up. Now if I double click here and play it, you will see you'll have something like this. Alright, let's switch to the edit page and let me go around here, and if I move, you will see we'll have something like this. But we have this black area, so we need to fix it. For that, I'm going to click on this solid color and move it little bit around here. Now if I go around this point and play it, you will see we'll have something like this. And I guess it's actually looking quite good. Okay, now let's continue. So let me place the playback head around here, and at this point I'm going to add another text plus node, and let me click here and place it where our playback head is. Then click on this point and trim it down until this marker. So keep it around here. Okay. Now click on this text plus node and switch to this title section, select this custom text, and now we need to type the word poem. Now for this one, we're going to change the font. So let me click here and we're going to use the Constantia font for this one as well. So let me click here and also click on this regular section, then change it to bold. And now what we're going to do is scroll down a little bit and we're going to change the color. So click on this color section and double click on this HTML section, and we're going to use the same color code 747 and 47. And now let's increase the size of our text. So switch to this settings tab and scroll up, and we're going to increase the zoom. So click on this zoom and increase the size. So let's keep it somewhere around 2.36 maybe. And now what we're going to do is animate it. So place the playback head on top of it and open it in the Fusion page. Okay, so for this one, we're going to create a simple zoom in animation. So let's go to frame 0, then click on this template node. Now go to the inspector and scroll down, then add a keyframe for the size. Now just go to the end of our composition, then click on this size box and increase the size a little bit. So let's keep it somewhere around maybe 0.113, I guess. Now let's switch to this edit page and see how it's looking. So let me go around here and play it. You'll see we have something like this. Okay. Now just like before, we have to make a copy of this text. So simply click here, then press Alt and move it upwards to make a copy. And for this copied text, we're going to change the zoom a little bit. So let me double click here and I'm going to change the zoom to something like 0.42 maybe. Let me click here on to apply the changes and we'll have something like this. Now let's switch to this title section and click on this color section and change the color to black. Let's click on this OK button to save it. And I forgot to do one thing, that we need to decrease the opacity of our big text. So let me click here, go to the settings section, scroll down and double click on this opacity and change the value to 50. Let me click here on to apply the changes, and now it's looking much better. So now what we're going to do is go to this marker, and at this point simply select the text, press Ctrl plus B to make a cut. Go to this marker, and at this point select the text once again and press Ctrl plus B to make another cut. Now we are going to change this middle section. So let's place the playback head around here. Let me click here on to select everything. Then click on this bottom text. We are going to change the font for this one. So let's switch to this title section and click on this font. And the font I'm going to use is called Adelia. So let me click here to select it. And as you can see, it's actually way too big. So let's switch to the settings tab once again. And let me scroll up. And I guess I'm going to click on this zoom and drag it to the left side. So I guess somewhere around 0.94 looks good. Okay. Now, of course, we need to do the same for this small text as well. So click on this small text, switch to the title section, click on this font and change it to Adelia, switch to the settings tab. And for this one, what I'm going to do is double click here and change the value to 0.24. Let me click here on to apply the changes, and we'll have something like this. And I'm going to change the color of this text as well. So let's click here and change the color. So I'm going to change the color to white, and we'll have something like this. Now if I go to frame 0, double click here and play it, you will see we'll have something like this. And I guess our text animation is actually looking quite good. Okay. Now let's continue. So let me place the playback head on top of this marker, and at this point I will simply right click on this text plus node and open it in the Fusion. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of directional blur animation. So press Ctrl plus space and search for directional blur. Press enter to add it, then go to the inspector and add a keyframe for the length. Now go to the end of our composition and increase the length to all the way up. I guess I'm going to increase the value a little bit. So let me click here and let's change the value to 0.3 maybe. And now what I'm going to do is select this template box and click on the zoom to fit icon. Select the keyframe, right click here, go to this edge section and change it to out cubic. Now simply click on the directional blur node and press Ctrl plus C to copy it. Then switch to this edit page icon and right click on this text plus node, open it in the Fusion and just paste the node. Now let's switch to the edit page once again. Let's go around here and play it. This is how it's looking. I guess we have a little bit of problem. If I go around here, you will see our when is actually revealing before the background. So we need to fix that. So for that, what I'm going to do is right click on this text node and open it in the Fusion. So for this one, what I'm going to do is create a reveal animation. So for that, we're going to use the rectangle mask. So click on this rectangle mask to add it, and you may click here and increase the height a little bit. Now just go to the inspector and add a keyframe for this center XY. Move 6 frames forward, and at this frame, add another keyframe. Then move back to this first keyframe and click on this Xbox and drag it like this. So let's keep it around here maybe. And of course, we need to change the curve. So let me deselect this one. Click on this zoom to fit icon, select the keyframes, right click here, go to this edge section and change it to out cubic. And now I'm going to enable a little bit of feather as well. So go to this top edge section, click on this slider and increase the feather slightly. So let's keep it somewhere around here. And now you just have to copy this rectangle node and paste it on this small text as well. So let's switch to this edit page and see how it's looking. Okay, so now if I play it, you will see we'll have something like this. And if I go around here and move the playback head, you will see it's revealing properly. Now the rest of the process is actually same. You just have to copy this text around this section. So make sure to do it properly. Okay, I'm going to skip this process. Alright, so here I am done with the lyrics animation, and as you can see, it's turned out quite good. I made a little bit of minor adjustments and completed the entire animation. As I mentioned before, you can download the project files from the link in the description. So just grab them and let's get into the main video. So as you can see, I have already imported the media files that I'm going to use. If you want to download them, you can simply join the membership to get the complete project files of this entire animation. This package will include both of the project files and all the media files that I'm using. Okay, now let me simply click on this ink clip and drag it to the timeline. Let's click here and place it in the beginning of our composition. Now this clip has music, so what I'm going to do is simply right click here and delink it first. Then I will simply press Ctrl and click on this video clip to deselect it, and by pressing backspace I will simply delete the music. Okay, now what we're going to do is go to this marker, and at this point I will simply click here and trim down the clip. Now this clip will go behind of this compound clip, so we have to select all these nodes around here. Then you can simply go to this point and click here and move it upwards slightly. So let's keep it around here. Now I will simply click on this clip and move it to the bottom. So I guess I'm going to click here and trim down slightly. Okay, now as you can see, it's on top of this text and this is what we needed. But this ink clip is actually quite small, so we need to increase the size. So let me simply click here to select it. Then go to the inspector and click on this zoom and increase the size slightly. So let's keep it somewhere around 2.1 maybe. Then I'll click on this Y offset box and drag it down. I guess I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. Okay, now what we're going to do is simply right click on this clip. Then here we're going to change the speed. So click here and double click on the speed box and change the speed to something like 60%. So let's click here and click on this change button. Now if I go to frame 0 and play it, you'll see we'll have something like this. Okay, now let's go to the media pool and drag this file to the timeline, and let me click here and place it at the beginning. We have to trim it down as well, so let's go around here and at this point click on it and trim it down. Then I will click on it and drag it to the bottom. Now if I place the playback head on top of it, you will see we'll have something like this, and it's actually looking good, but I guess I'm going to increase the zoom a little bit. So let me go to the inspector and click on this zoom button and drag it slightly. So for this one, I'm going to keep it somewhere around 1.25 maybe. Then click on this Y offset box and drag it down. Let's keep it around here. Okay. Now we're going to do the animation, but before that, we need to convert it into compound clip. So let me simply right click on this clip and click on this compound clip, then rename it as 2 and press enter to save it. Now just click on this Fusion page icon to open it in the Fusion. Alright, so for this clip, we're going to create slide up animation. So let's add a transform node, then go to the end of our composition, and at this point, simply add a keyframe for the center XY. Then go to the beginning of our composition. Now go to the inspector once again and click on this Y offset box and drag it down. So let's keep it somewhere around here. Okay. Now let's adjust the curves. So click on this zoom to fit icon, select the keyframes, right click here, go to this each section and choose this out click option. Now if I play it, you will see we'll have something like this. Okay. Now let's add a little bit of shadow to it. So with this transform node selected, press Ctrl plus space and search for drop shadow. Let me just select it, then press enter to add it. By default, the drop shadow looks like this, but I'm going to do a little bit of adjustments. So let me go to the inspector and first let me decrease the blur for now, so it will reveal the edges properly. Now I will click on this drop distance and drag it to the left side. So let me keep it somewhere around here. Okay. Now click on this blur and increase it. So let's keep it around 0.35 maybe. Now click on the status page icon to open it, and if I go to frame 0, double click here and play it, you will see we'll have something like this, and I think it's actually looking quite good. Okay. Now what we're going to do is delete this blank area. So I will simply right click here and click on this delete the empty drafts option. Now let's get the second part of our animation, and it will start from this marker. And at this point, I will simply click on this text plus node and move it upwards like this. Then go to the media pool and drag this white flower to the timeline. So let's place it where our playback head is. Then go to the end and trim it down like this. Now what we're going to do is click here and move it to the bottom. Now go to the media pool once again and click on this Mahi clip and drag it to the timeline and place it where our playback head is. Then go to the end and trim it down as well. Then what we're going to do is click here and move it at the bottom, but keep it on top of the flower. Okay. Now first let's adjust the Mahi clip. So with this clip selected, go to the inspector and increase the zoom slightly. So let's keep the zoom somewhere around 1.4 maybe. Then click on this Y offset box and drag it down. I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. Okay. Now click on this flower PNG. Then go to the inspector and click on this Xbox and drag it around here. And also click on this Y offset box and move it around here. I guess we are going to adjust the zoom as well. So click on the zoom box and increase it. Keep the zoom around 1.22 maybe. I guess we need to adjust it a little bit more. So click on this X offset box and drag it somewhere around here. And let's click on this Y offset box and move it around here. So I guess this looks good. Now what we're going to do is click on this Mahi clip, then press Ctrl and click on this white flower clip. Now simply right click on any of them and convert them into Fusion clip. Now you can simply click on this Fusion clip and move it at the bottom and click on this text plus node and move it at the bottom just for the rearrangements. Now just right click on this Fusion clip and open it in the Fusion. Alright, so once you are in Fusion, you will have something like this. Now your nodes might look a little bit different because I have already rearranged them. For this one, we're going to create this slide up animation as well. So make sure that you are at frame 0, and at this point, click on this merge to node and add a transform node. Then just like before, go to the inspector and add a keyframe for this center XY. Then go to the end of our composition and add another keyframe. Now click on this mini arrow to go to this first keyframe. Then click on this Y offset box and drag it down. So let's keep it somewhere around here. Now click on this zoom to fit icon, select the keyframes, right click here, go to this edge section and choose this out cubic. Now if I play this, you will see you'll have something like this. Now for this flower, I want a little bit of rotation animation. So I will go to frame 0 once again. And this bottom clip, which is merge one, is actually our flower. So click on this merge one node, then go to the inspector and add a keyframe for the angle. Now go to the end of our composition and add another keyframe. Just click here to go to this first keyframe. And I guess I will simply double click here and change the value to something like 20 to 24. So let's keep it around 24. And if I click here, it will have something like this. Now let me just deselect this transform node and click on this zoom to fit icon. Select the keyframes, right click, go to this edge section and choose the out cubic for this one as well. Now if I go to frame 0, double click here and play it, you'll see we'll have something like this. So we have this little bit of flower animation as well. Okay. Now let's add the drop shadow. So click on this media in one node, press Ctrl plus space and add the drop shadow. Now we need to adjust it. So let's go to the inspector. First click on this drop distance and I guess I'm going to keep it around here. And I will click on this blur and decrease this slightly. So let's keep it around here. Now you can simply click here and copy this drop shadow. Then click on this media in two node and paste it here. So I guess I have to adjust it as well. So let's go to the inspector and click on this drop distance and keep it around here. So we need a little bit of drop shadow, not too much. So I'm going to keep it around here. Now just open it in the edit page. So if I go around here and play it, you'll see you'll have something like this. So this is how it's looking and I guess it's actually looking pretty cool. Now we have to do the same thing for this part as well. So let me quickly show you how you can do this. Place the playback head on top of this marker. Now what we're going to do is simply select all these clips around this area, then click here and move them upwards like this. Okay. Now just go to the media pool and drag the clip of Sakshi to the timeline and place it where your playback head is. Now you can simply go to the end of this clip and trim it down like this. And just like before, go to the media pool, click on this flower clip and drag it to the timeline, place it where your playback head is, go to the end and trim it down. Now we have to do the same adjustments like before and convert it into fusion clip. So I'm going to skip this process to save the time. Alright, so here I have already did all the necessary adjustments and converted them into fusion clip. Now just right click on it and open it in the fusion. Okay, so for this one as well, we're going to create the same animation. So just add the transform node, go to the inspector and add a keyframe for the center XY. Then go to the end of our composition and add another keyframe. Now move to this first keyframe, then click on this Y offset box and drag it down like this. Now click on this merge one node and add a keyframe for the angle. Go to the end of our composition and add another keyframe. Now go back to this first keyframe, double click on this angle box and change the value to 24. Let me click here to apply the changes. Click on this zoom to fit icon and select the both keyframes like this. Right click here, go to this edge section and choose this out cubic option. Now you can simply add the drop shadow like before and open it in the edit page. Okay, so after adding the drop shadow, this is how it's looking. Alright, now let's do the last part of our animation. And it's actually quite easy to do. We just have to copy and paste these two clips around here. So let's do this. Simply press Alt, then click on this ink clip and drag it around here to make a copy. Now what I'm going to do is click here and move it somewhere around here. Okay. Now you can simply go to the end of this clip and trim it down like this. Now just place the playback head around this part. And what I'm going to do is simply click on this clip and move it upwards like this. Now we just have to copy this clip. So press Alt and left click and drag it to make a copy. Then simply click here and move it around this place. So let's place it where our playback head is. Now let me click here and trim it down like this as well. Now if I go to frame 0, double click here and play it, you will see we get something like this, and that's all we needed to do. So this is how you can create a small Instagram ratio reel inside the free version of DaVinci Resolve. If this tutorial was helpful, then give this video a like, subscribe to the channel and make sure to watch my other videos. I will see you in the next one. So see ya.